Welcome to Todd's 2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday, brought to you by Big Beard Battery. Visit BigBeardBattery.com. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hey, it's springtime, and it's a wonderful time now to get your RV and get out and hit the road, and of course, live the dream. And I want to go ahead and talk about, now that it's springtime, one consideration is adding solar panels or a solar system to your RV. You know, what's involved with that? What are the considerations? Well, here's the thing. Again, you're taking your RV out and there's going to be limited places you can go. And one thing you want to do is make sure that your battery's completely charged. Or what if you wanted to stay off grid for a little bit, maybe stop off at, the local truck stop or whatever, and kind of enjoy the creature comforts of life without having to run the generator. And that's where having a solar system comes in. When we're just talking solar panels, I just want to give you this information. If you're just talking solar panels create a high voltage DC signal, right? The more solar panels you have, depending if you put them in series or parallel, the higher the voltage. From the solar panels, you get your wire. From your wire, of course, you have a solar controller. The solar controller, its job is no different than, say, your standard converter. Now, the converter in your RV that charges your battery takes a high voltage AC and steps it down to battery voltage DC. That's what we call a converter. Well, it's the same is true, or the same need for something like that is true for your solar panels. You get high voltage, but it's DC, and we want to get it down to battery voltage, and that's what a solar controller does, okay? Solar controller will take the relatively high voltage from the solar panels, drop it down to battery voltage, and send over the charge to the battery voltage, or if you have an inverter or something like that, it goes to whoever wants the power. Okay, it's the solar controller I want to talk about. I need you to marry those to the panels you have. There's all different size solar controllers, just like there's all different size converters. And what you want to determine is how many solar panels you have kind of determines how big of a solar controller you have. I mean, if you only have one panel, then a relatively inexpensive small solar controller to charge your batteries or to take care of your inverter, that's all you need. Okay, the more solar panels you have, the bigger the array of solar panels, either the larger the solar controller or more solar controllers. Okay, so the solar controller is kind of the point of focus here, right? When we're looking at those, we want to get a solar controller that can send the proper voltage to your battery, whether it's 12 volts, 24 volts, or 48 volts. Choose the right one, right? Solar panels will take the power down to the solar controller, sends it down to battery voltage. Okay. Size of that solar controller helps determine how many panels you can have. I see a lot of people, what they're doing is they're adding more panels, but they still have a small solar controller. Okay, and that's like having a Ferrari and only giving it, 1 gallon worth of gas and saying, okay, you're about to run, a race for 500 miles. You're not going to get very far. Okay, you're going to be bottlenecked. Okay, so understand the size of your solar controller really needs to marry with how many panels you have. Okay. If you want to learn more, well, here's a couple things you can do. You can go over to Big Beard Battery, click on the Learn More, Design My System. We'll be more than happy to help out.